In April 1824, news spread that Lord Byron, one of the most famous people in the Western world, had died suddenly in an obscure part of Greece. As would become the norm with celebrity deaths, people remembered what they were doing when they heard the news. A young Alfred Tennyson carved "Byron is dead" on a rock, recalling it as a day when the whole world seemed to be darkened, and everything was over and finished for everyone. Sir Walter Scott wrote, "We feel almost as if the great luminary of heaven had suddenly disappeared from the sky." Jane Welsh, the future wife of Thomas Carlyle, wrote that she heard the news in a room full of people, and if they had said the sun or the moon was gone out of the heavens, it could not have struck me with the idea of a more awful and dreary blank in creation than the words, "Byron is dead." The poet's death seemed to many like a real-life enactment of Byron's apocalyptic poem, Darkness, which imagines a day when, without warning, the bright sun was extinguished. To his contemporaries, the end of Byron felt something like the end of the world. In the previous dozen years or so, Byron had become renowned for his poetry and notorious for the events of his personal life. His works and experiences were intertwined in ways that stoked curiosity and propelled him into the upper stratosphere of fame. In a series of narrative poems, lyrics, and verse dramas, he had all but invented the theatrically confessional style of modern celebrity, aloof yet mysteriously intimate. He seemed to be always sharing too much, and yet never enough. Rumors of blasphemy, adultery, sodomy, incest, and madness surrounded him, many of them mostly true. And the characters that populated Byron's poetry, the jaded pilgrim, Childe Harold, the brooding romantic pirate, Conrad, the self-tortured sorcerer, Manfred, the heartbroken and vengeful Giaour, and many more, seemed to be projected versions of a man whom audiences grew to admire and condemn as the erotic arch-rebel of their days. And then, suddenly, at age 36, he was gone. A month after Byron's death, 6 men gathered solemnly around a London fireplace to shred and burn Byron's handwritten personal memoir, having judged the manuscript too scandalous for the public, or even for posterity. As the paper flared in the grate, the flames illuminated their somber faces. Byron's longtime publisher, John Murray; Byron's friend since their university days, John Cab Hobhouse; the Irish poet Thomas Moore, to whom Byron had entrusted the manuscript, and Moore's friend Henry Luttrell, and 2 other men representing the women in Byron's family, his wife Annabella Milbank, Lady Byron, and his half-sister Augusta Lee.